What will this social media age lead to? Well, this is a huge question. It's a question that we're always, perhaps wondering about, even subconsciously. Maybe we're not really aware, but I'm going to give you a few certains, good and maybe bad. First off, I'm going to list 10 of these things. And unfortunately, before we get to the positive, we have to discover what's going on negatively. So, firstly, you're going to be unable to keep your mind on work. So as we know, social media is very, very busy. In fact, if you have a social media account such as Facebook, YouTube, the wonderful YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever else, there are so many of them. I could go on and on. You're probably on a couple of them right now as you're watching this video. But they're going to lead you to keep your mind, off of work, because you're unable to keep your mind straight, simply because your mind is being influenced by the absolute increasing media that's being pushed at you moment by moment. So for example, if you're watching this video right now, you'll notice that there's probably other videos on your screen. There's other advertisements near those. There's other buttons, there's other things by them. So it's too busy. Your mind is then off your work. If you're working at some menial job, well, not so menial to you right now, but some job maybe that you're just going from A to B, a get to job, and you're wondering how can you get to the next grade or the next level, get a promotion, just get money in the short term in order to get to where you want to be in life. Then you perhaps have a phone out or some sort of digital device where you're actually reading through texts or looking at social media or watching this wonderful video for you, by the way. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Anyway, the point is, your work is, believe it or not, before you even realize it, it's going to be compromised. Okay, maybe it's not that important a job. Maybe you're in a waiting capacity as you don't really have to do anything until customers come in the door. That's all well and good, but still in all, there's something more you can do in your work. You can be counting money, you can be setting tables and so on. So the social media age will lead us to be unable to keep our mind fully on work. The second thing is that we'll be unable to look at someone eye to eye. Now just think about this for a second. I'm looking at you, but you can't see me. Does that make any sense? Well, not really, but it's video, so it's not natural. It's not completely eye to eye. Sure, you might actually be looking through my eyes right now, but I cannot see your eyes. I'm just imagining that they're there, and I'm imagining that hopefully there's more than one set of eyes looking at this video. So being in real life is wonderful. It's far more wonderful than actual video watching. Okay, I get what you're thinking. Perhaps maybe it's a busy weekend you have to come. You're going to meet friends. You're going to have fun. You're going to get out there. That is all well and good. That's when you'll be eye to eye with people. But what I'm saying is watching videos when it's time to party. Watching videos when it's time to be doing outside of the house type of things, such as going to a dance, going to a game, going to a concert, going to places where you can fulfill your natural need to be curious enough to meet new people. Eye to eye contact. This is what is stopped with a lot of social media usage. Another thing is we are unable to have relationships, proper relationships. Now, do not get me started on certain things that lead to relationships nowadays, such as online dating or anything like that. I'm not talking specifically about that. What I'm talking about is relationships are broken down by relations. In order to relate, we need to be eye to eye. We need to be face to face. We need to be able to take ourselves seriously in that way and take the other person as they are right now in this moment seriously. So having relationships requires the fundamentals of relating. Another thing that social media is going to lead us to is anxiety. Now, anxiety is a huge thing. It's very normal, though, for often very healthy people to be anxious and have anxiety. But when a person regularly feels levels of anxiety that are not really in the norm, then it becomes like a medical disorder. Now, if you are finding this even video problematic, just to listen to it and think to yourself that, hey, I might be suffering from anxiety or indeed depression, please do go and seek the advice of a medical professional. Anxiety disorders, you see, they come from a category of mental illnesses, and this can come from nervousness initially, or fear, worry, or excessive anything. Something that leads you to apprehension, something that leads you to be anxious about a certain thing. Now, these disorders, they give emotions for a person that is not quite, well, shall we say, in the moment. It leaves a person looking, wanting, feeling perhaps potential feelings, when in fact they should be concentrating on what's happening right at this very moment in time. It makes people physically change. They can actually physically alter their state in a short term or in a long term if they become very anxious over time. So anxiety is a thing that can happen, can occur from the likes of social media usage or over social media usage. Anxiety is also, or can also be more so, a gateway to an even greater purge on our health, an even greater thing that is attacking our mental health from now and into the future. And that, of course, is depression. Now, again, the first thing about this is, if you are feeling depressed, go and see a medical professional. Seek advice. Go get that help if you need it. But remember too that in the modern age, with all this social media, it can lead to depression. It can skip through anxiety, hop into depression land before you know it. Now, nearly everyone at some stage of their life has felt in some way depressed, sad, or down in the dumps at one time or another. Being depressed can be a normal reaction to something very stressful, such as a death of a family member or the death of a loved one or a friend. But if it continues, it can become a state of mind. And this is where we need to warn ourselves away from this. Different things like losses of energy, physical energy, even though it's coming from our mind initially, can occur. Difficulty in thinking, concentrating, just doing your job in the moment can occur. Irritability, and as I said, physical pains. So our mind can lead us down the rabbit hole of physical pains where we actually physically change over time. So going back to the actual example of somebody dying, and if that has happened to you, I am really sorry. But if it happens long term where we become depressed because of that, the physical trauma can be within us, in our bodies, for years to come. Another thing that the social media age could leave us to is, well, it's a positive thing. Now that we've gone to the very negative, let's go positive for a while. Working as your own boss online. Yes, indeed. The social media age can give you that option, that opportunity to work as your own boss online. Now, I have other videos about making money, about keeping money, about saving money, and please free feel on this video to comment or to suggest things you'd like to see, or to be able to, view more videos, and I will consider if you wanted to make another video on it. But yes, you can work online. There's so many different ways you can work online. It is massive, the online world. Another way that we can be positive about things is we can become a big travel fan. We can travel and adventure to many places, because if you're working online, if you can go out there and put out things that are for sale through, say for example, your website, or for example on your social media, then you can sell them not just in your local town or city, but you can also sell them to the world. The World Wide Web. Remember, that's what it's called. It's a marketplace that you too can own. You too can go into. And you can use it to travel with your riches and money too. Another thing then, of course, that social media will lead us to is to be a follower. Now, it's a good thing to be a follower. How else are we going to learn? I'm thankful for you to be my follower, to be my subscriber. But if you did not know these reasons, how would you actually be able to lead? Because being a follower intends you, if you want, to become a leader. If you learn things from leaders, then you are, well, a follower. Now, even if you are a leader, you might actually be a follower of other people in life. So social media allows you to be a follower, which is a good thing, but it can also be a negative thing. It can just stop your growth. So we have to be careful of it. Lastly, well, social media can be wonderful. We've mentioned positives and negatives, but it can also be a waste of your time in life. I mean, think about it. If you become addicted to social media, you are looking at other people's posts, other people's videos for a duration that is much longer than you will ever be thankful for in the long term. Anyway, I really am thankful for you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And if not, well, look around. I hope you have a wonderful day.